You don't need a classroom to learn English. You need stories. Stories that pull you in, make you wonder, and take you somewhere unexpected. That's how language becomes real, while you're feeling the suspense and imagining the scenes you're learning naturally. That's the magic of storytelling. So before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a story. We post a new one every day, each one filled with practical English you absorb without effort. It was colder than Liam expected. Even with his hands deep in his pockets and his scarf wrapped tightly around his neck, the wind still managed to reach through every layer. Moscow in early spring wasn't gentle. The red square looked different than in the pictures. Bigger, louder. The colors of St. Basil's Cathedral were vivid even under the gray sky, like someone had painted them just that morning. Tourists moved around with slow, wide eyes, phones out, maps folded in shaky hands. But Liam wasn't interested in landmarks that day. He had no tour planned. He just wanted to walk, to feel the weight of the city, to let his feet decide where he went. He stepped off the main path and wandered closer to the edge of the square. The stone beneath his shoes was uneven in places. History lived in these stones. You could feel it if you slowed down enough. That was when he saw it. A flash of silver on the ground. Tiny, barely noticeable. But something made him stop. It was a button. A small metal button, round and smooth, catching the light like it had been waiting for someone to find it. There were no markings on it. Just a shine that didn't fit with the old stone and dust around it. Liam bent down and picked it up. It felt heavy for its size. Cold. Too cold. He turned it over in his fingers. Still no words. But there was something strange about the shape. Not perfectly round. One edge was slightly angled, like it was meant to fit somewhere specific. He stood there for a moment, just holding it. Then, as he looked up, something shifted. The square, just seconds ago loud and full of people, felt quieter. Not silent, but hushed, like someone had turned the volume down a little. He looked around. No one seemed to notice anything. People kept walking. A tour guide pointed toward the Kremlin. A group of students posed for a photo. But Liam felt it. The change. He slipped the button into his pocket and began walking again. But now, every few steps, he glanced down alleyways and side streets. Something inside him was curious, alert. He turned down a narrow path beside a museum. The wind felt stronger here. The noise from the square faded behind him. The stone path led between two tall brick buildings, dark with age. At the end of the path, there was a small gate. It wasn't locked, just slightly open, like someone had forgotten to close it. He pushed it with his foot and stepped inside. The space behind it looked like a forgotten courtyard. There were no signs, no lights, just cracked tiles, weeds, and an old fountain without water. In the center of the courtyard was a metal structure, an iron door standing alone, not attached to any wall, just a door frame, like it had once belonged to a building that was now gone. Liam walked toward it. As he got closer, he saw something that made him stop. There was a small hole in the side of the frame. Not obvious, not new. He reached into his pocket and pulled out the button. It fit perfectly. He didn't turn it, didn't press it, just let it sit there. And then the air changed again. A breeze passed through the courtyard, but it didn't feel like wind. It felt like memory, like stories moving between the walls. Liam stood there for what felt like a long time. He didn't open the door. It didn't lead anywhere anyway. But the feeling stayed with him, that he had found something that didn't belong to this time, that he had been chosen by accident, or maybe not. Eventually, he walked away. The button stayed in the frame. It didn't belong in his pocket. It belonged to the door, or to whoever came next. When he returned to the red square, the world felt normal again. The colors were still bright, the people still loud. But Liam walked through it differently now. He had followed something, a clue, a moment, and though nothing had really happened, he knew he would never forget it. Later that night, as he looked through the photos on his phone, there was one he didn't remember taking. A picture of the iron door, closed. No button. Here's what you just learned without studying. While you followed Liam through Red Square and into a mysterious courtyard, you picked up useful expressions, verb forms, and sentence rhythms without even noticing. That's the power of story-based learning. It works because your brain is feeling, not just memorizing. We publish new videos every day with stories just like this. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And now it's your turn. Have you ever found something strange in a public place? What did you do with it? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear your story.